Hello and welcome to another episode of Still Science. Today we'll be doing some biology content for a change. So we'll give you the warning, there is going to be a dissection, so don't feel obligated to watch it if you don't want to, but hopefully it will show you what a dissection is like. So if we go down to what we're dissecting now, this is an eye from a pig. We got it from our local butchers. The link to the butchers will be in the description, by the way. So if I pick it up for a start, this sort of fatty looking stuff around the edge is fatty tissue which acts as a cushion in the eye socket with the bone around it, same as you don't like bruise your own eyeball by just looking somewhere. If we turn the eyeball over, I don't know how well you can see this, so I'll point to it with a stick. This little bit here is the eyeball end of the optic nerve. That's just a nerve that goes to the brain, that sends an electrical pulse so your brain can work out what you're actually looking at. So now if we hold it in the right way, we're going to cut this straight in half, so the back's on one side and the front's on the other side. The top tip here is to try and avoid cutting your finger because scalpels tend to be quite sharp. The other thing to note is the white bit of the eye. Sclera is quite tough to get through, so make sure you've got a tight grip of the eye so it doesn't slip and you end up cutting yourself. But once you're in, you'll see the white gel substance coming out. This is vitreous gel. That's just in there to fill the eye, to keep it in its spherical shape. Okay, this is where I've shot it too fast, but we've actually got the lens popped out, which is new. But I shall carry on trying to cut this. If I put these tweezers in to keep it open. The vitreous gel is made out of mainly protein and water. This is actually more fiddly than you think. You may want a second pair of hands, but sometimes that's just as bad because then you've got more fingers that you're likely to cut. If I try using my other scalpel, maybe a bit sharper. Okay, this is not going well.
Would you like some scissors?
Yes. Drawer above the pink cupboard. Thank you. This is quite tough because it's made out of several layers. And yes, before you ask, it does feel horrible. Yeah. Okay, this is quite slimy. Neatly. So the eye has now been clearly cut in half, this being the front of the eye where your pupil and iris and all that bit is that you see when you're looking at someone. And this is the back of the eye where the sciencey bit happens of where you can see. So in the back here there's the optic nerve that then leads back to the brain. Okay, so looking at the back of the eye, I'll use my pointy stick to be technical. Looking at the back of the eye, the black colour you're seeing is what's called the retina. So as light enters the eye, it goes through and hits onto the back of the eye, which is your retina, which is the bit that sometimes has problems, which is why you need glasses. Scleria and cornea are made of tissue from... Oh, the difference between the two is the way the fibres are laid out. So if we can try and look at this, if you want, I'll try and move it actually. If we look up. Sclera is sort of in a random scribbly sort of layout, whereas the cornea are all straight in a regimented fashion. So if I take my ID badge, this is one way I've been taught before, or teached before. Taught lessons like before? That's not the important bit, if I can pick it up. Okay, I might have to use my finger. Okay, I can't use my finger. Okay, this is a lot more difficult than it looks. Actually, it's just as difficult as it looks because I can't do it. Okay, so if you put it over... Okay, I've got the black bit behind it now. That's no good. Ah, there you go. Right, I don't know how well you can focus in on this, but the S of Sul is a lot bigger than the rest of the font now because the lens is focusing the light as it does in your own eye. I don't know if tilting it helps slightly. So that's how the lens works, and that's how you get a dirty name tag, so I'm going to have to wash that at some point. Looking at the front of the eye, I don't know how well this camera's actually focusing, but you can slightly see very fine lines, and they're the muscle of the iris. The iris is important because it controls the amount of light that's entering the eye. So if there's a lot of light in the surrounding area, so if you're looking at the sun, it will constrict to make the pupil smaller so less light enters. Whereas if you're out in the dark, so you've only got street lights, it'll dilate to let as much light as possible into your eye to help with your vision. So if I turn the front of the eye over, if I can pick it up, I'm actually going to try and use my fingers. This is a lot easier said than done. So again, we can see the coloured bit that's sort of a bluey grey in this eye, if that's better. That's the iris, and then the lighter bit in the middle that you can, if I move my finger, you can kind of see through, that's the pupil, which is the bit that is where the light enters, basically. Obviously, like any other organ, it still requires blood, so if you look, you can't really see it so well on here, but if you look in someone's eyes when they're tired, you tend to see red veins, and you would call that bloodshot. It's because the blood is still going to the eye, or if you're tired it needs more blood to try and actually still keep going. So that's why sleep is also important. So that's the basics of a dissection today. This is a pig's eye. There was no going out and killing an animal. We got it from a butcher. It was killed for sensible reasons. The meat is gone for meat, and so this was going to be a waste product anyway. A link to the butcher's where we've got it will be in the description. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that lovely stuff. Check out our Patreon page, our Facebook, our Twitter, our Google+, and our website where the write-up to this will eventually be. And look forward to seeing you next episode. Bye.